Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. The IPL is finished, but we keep the content coming. I have with me as usual my co-host, Mr. Abrar Aziz. What did you do this morning, man? No matches, no toss to look forward to, no strategies. Picking the IPL fantasy team. What were you doing, man?
Actually, just got some work done for a change.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a very different morning for me today. Like after 2 months of constant cricket,
Yeah.
nothing going on. Yeah, but like I know after it was an amazing tournament. So I said let's do an IPL 11 for this tournament based on this tournament's performances. The only factor will be we'll only have four foreign players.
Yeah.
That's just the format of the tournament. Otherwise, like
It becomes very tricky.
yeah, because yeah, I mean this will make it even tougher, but it's because there are going to be some quality players that will be left out. But I think it's just easier for us to follow this guideline. So
Yeah.
we'll start from the top till the bottom, from the opening batsman till number 11. You can give your batsman, then I'll give mine, and then if we agree, then good. If not, then we'll just debate a bit and then pick one and for our final team.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. I just feel like we might have a few common ones over there.
I
Some
think quite a
standard ones.
few.
Yeah.
I think
But it'll be fun. Let's see how it goes.
yeah, and like you can also talk about the players that you felt like you were going to pick but you couldn't because of the balance of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so let's go with the number one opening slot. I've gone KL Rahul, highest scorer in the tournament. Yes, they didn't make the playoffs, but 670 runs. He's averaging over 50. Fantastic batting. Maybe because some of his players in the middle order weren't in the greatest of form, so he's a bit cautious here and there. But in terms of runs and like consistency, you couldn't match him.
Absolutely. I think 100%. I think KL Rahul sits right on top of there. He was one of the players that made my team right off the bat, like first person in my team. The impact that he had as a captain as well was quite decent. I mean, especially after a few losses in the beginning, they really needed to kick on from there, and they did a good job of it. So absolutely, I agree 100% that KL Rahul makes my team for sure.
KL Rahul. And your second opening batsman?
So it's a toss-up between Devdutt Padikkal and Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah.
Shikhar Dhawan because he scored those important runs, especially in the qualifier 2 and those double centuries. The only reason Devdutt Padikkal comes through is because in the first at least about 8-10 games when he was on song, he was actually winning them the games. The Dhawan had 1 century, but he even lost that game. So some kind of critical situations over there. I felt like Dhawan he got out a couple ducks as well. I'm not saying that Devdutt scored every game, but I just felt like in terms of how they both impacted their team so well. Just very very hard for me to choose between these two as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thing. I initially was adamant to keep Padikkal because he was an uncapped player, and I think not many people knew about him. And he took the tournament by storm. He took the pressure off the likes of AB and Kohli. I think he batted really well. But I think now I'm moving a bit slightly towards Dhawan because yes, there's one of 100 which they lost, but then there's a couple of innings. There's a couple of 50s before his 100, and then that one match-winning 100, and then the qualifier match, like he won them the game. Without his performance, Delhi might have not gone through to the playoffs, or they might not have gone to the finals.
Absolutely.
Some of his keeper, once he got set, and he was batting at a good very healthy strike rate, so he made sure that they got runs on the board. He didn't compromise on that. So I that's why I'm tipping towards Dhawan, just because the number of runs he scored was unbelievable. Of course, he's the second highest run scorer, but and also his contributions apart from maybe one game, like they have been match winning. So I think are you cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with that. I think it's just fair to give him that spot because he deserves it just a slight touch more. Also, I mean, Padikkal, very, very close second for me. And more than anything, I think also a very, very honorable mention to someone like a David Warner or Mayank Agarwal, who started off the tournament very well but got injured, unfortunately. So he couldn't really stamp his authority in that spot. And he had a pretty decent tournament as well, if you're being fair. And then David Warner, man, he started off slowly, but then like in the end, some decent innings to get that team get that Sunrisers team up and running, and also that captain material, so that's also an important aspect.
Yeah, I think that's a really fair point because actually Agarwal, if he didn't get injured, he probably would have been in both our teams because he was taking the pressure off Rahul, and like some things that Rahul wasn't doing, he was doing. His strike rate was high as well, so I think it was difficult. And David Warner, it wasn't his greatest season in terms of like the way he was hitting the ball and the way he was timing, but he still scored over 500 runs, and you can't take away his captaincy, man. He took them to excellent field changes, bowling changes. He always gives you that. Like, if I ever want to pick an IPL captain, I would go like it's like a tough choice between Rohit Sharma and Warner. But just because of like the team that Warner has, I would just tip Warner, because I think no matter what the injuries are, whatever it is, he like he has that winning mentality.
Yeah.
And it was because of him, and of course all his support, like support staff and everything, that they got to the third place. So like, yes, Warner, yeah, a fresh shout out to him.
And also for me, very very important to be the captain, because that is an
Yes.
important aspect for me in this team as well. And I am struggling because my team is filled with a lot of very good players.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know
have
who's
a
captain
captain either.
material
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah,
for me that
I
was
don't.
the issue.
Yeah,
But
the only problem is the foreign issue, right? Otherwise, we
yeah.
could have gone with Warner. But also, I think one more player. Shout out to is Decock.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
absolutely, absolutely.
he was fantastic. Some match-winning innings, and then I think, yeah, in the finals, like he just scored 20 runs, but he broke the back of the Delhi team when he hit Rawada for 18 runs. So
Right.
like a fair shout out to him as well. And with the gloves, he was great and took a lot of catches as well. So I think a fair shout out to him. Unlucky, I think, because we can only choose four foreigners, and there's been some Indian openers. The Indian openers that we've chosen are the top two run scorers in the
Yeah.
tournament. So like
Yeah.
that way.
It's
But
hard
yeah,
to, yeah.
yeah, fair shout out to these guys. Now the number three batsman, I went with Surya Kumar Yadav. In terms of stats, he might have not had the greatest season, but like his contribution, and just when he came, this is pure class. Like
Yeah.
just based on the shots he played and that innings against RCB, like he was just wonderful to watch.
Absolutely, 100%. I have no doubt in my mind that Surya Kumar Yadav makes number three without a shadow of a doubt. He's just an absolutely incredible player. I keep saying this every podcast. I think that he should have made the Indian team. I just feel so bad for him, poor guy. But just keep working hard, and there is hopefully there is that position is going to be his very soon. Hopefully,
He's actually 30 already. I thought he was like
yeah,
in 26, 27. So like,
yeah,
I think this is the time, because this
yeah.
is his peak. So I think, yeah, like unfortunate, but like, yeah, he was absolute class. And then for number four, who have you gone?
So this was the most tricky for me, honestly. Number four, and then I have a couple of issues in the bowling department. But apart from that, I think I have my team pretty sorted. So number four, there is, of course, there are a few. Like I think I've gone with Ishan Kishan. That's what's written on my team. But I feel like there's a couple others, like the likes of the absolute champion in ABD. He's what a champion. He didn't have the greatest of innings this season, this greatest of seasons this time. But I still think that a couple of games that he did perform, he was pretty good. Uh, I find it very hard to kind of go past him, but I think Ishan Kishan, the kind of impact that he had for that Mumbai Indians team, um, makes him an important aspect for me. Shreyas Iyer was another close one as well, but I felt like the more I think that Ishan Kishan had a little bit more of an impact in winning the Mumbai those extra few games, and so I have him in my team. So I think I'll just go with Ishan Kishan. But I think a shout out to Shreyas Iyer, a shout out to ABD. Um, I can't think of off the top of my head anybody else. Also, number three, a
Kane
quick shout out
Williamson,
to
baby. Kane
Kane
Williamson,
Williamson.
baby.
Kane
Come on,
Williamson,
man. Come
absolutely. Kane, absolutely.
on.
But I still
But
feel
yeah,
that
he
Ishan
didn't.
kind of, yeah,
He didn't play throughout the tournament, right? There's a few
yeah.
games that he
And
missed out. Yeah.
the issue also is that for foreigners, if that issue is not there, Kane makes my team every single day of the
Yeah,
week.
maybe like the playoff 11. If you just do a playoff 11, then Kane will
Yeah,
probably fit in like that.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So
So
you're going
so
with
some
Ishan Kishan.
So I'm going to go with Ishan Kishan. Also at number three, a shout out to Chris Gale. Since he came on, the
Yeah.
Punjab team really
Fair
took it
enough.
off. But again, that foreign issue, and I think Surya Kumar as a overall player was a little bit more impact for that kind of team. So
So the reason for me why it was tough, like same reason for you, I think. I think Ishan Kishan, like he stepped up in Rohit Sharma's absence. Like he
yeah,
opened the batting as well when
yeah,
needed. He made sure there was no like absence felt or anything like that. He performed when he had to. He was averaging plus 50. For his size, the way he was hitting sixes was incredible. But it was tough because AB de Villiers, actually, if you think of it in hindsight, he had quite a few match-winning innings. I think that
yeah,
Kolkata game where everyone was struggling, one man stepped up, he scored 70 odd and 30 balls.
yeah,
And then I think that innings against Rajasthan, that was unbelievable again.
yeah,
He had a 50 against Sunrisers in the opening RCB game. That
yeah.
also was like match winning if you look at it, because those 50 runs, they made 160 and they won the game. And then
Absolutely.
the eliminator game, he was the only guy who stepped up, but
Stepped
they
up.
lost.
Yep.
So I think AB is a very tough shout. You always want AB in your team, right? Like
Yeah.
the way he plays, probably the greatest T20 batsman right now. Like, so you would always want him in your team. But I just feel like because not only because Mumbai won, it's just the Kishan's contribution, I think, to that team, especially in Rohit's absence. I think it was unbelievable. So I'm
Yeah.
also going Ishan Kishan, but it was very tough.
Absolutely, I think 100%. I think fair shout out for both of them.
Yeah, so our top four is sorted. We have Rahul Dhawan, Surya Kumar, and we have Ishan Kishan. Uh,
Give me a 5, 6, and 7 together. I just feel like we want to see how it
okay,
adds
let's
up in your
go.
team.
Okay, so you want to go with
So
you want to see mine?
yeah,
Okay, so I think I might have gone a different route, but I'm not sure. It might be the same as you. But I'm going number five. I'm going Hardik Pandya. Uh,
absolutely.
I just feel yes, he didn't bowl. That's because of the injury issues and stuff. But like whenever he came in, he was striking unbelievable shots, and his
Yeah,
strike rate was close to 200. I don't know what it was, but
yeah,
especially that in the last qualifier one,
yeah.
unbelievable innings. But whenever
Absolutely.
called upon, he did what was
Stepped up.
required. Yeah, he probably didn't play enough balls this season, but like for
Hmm.
his position, I think he did more than enough.
Yeah,
And yes, in the finals he didn't perform, but he didn't need to. Like there wasn't much left there. But yeah,
right,
I think I'm going Hardik Pandya just because of his six hitting ability and the way he was striking the ball this season.
right.
So number six, I don't know if you have this guy, but I'm going Marcus Stoinis.
Mm.
And the reason why I'm going Marcus Stoinis is that yes, he I think he had two match winning performances. One was I think three. There was one he scored a 50. I forgot against who, but early in the season he came at number six. He scored a 50. I think it might have been the Punjab game. I'm not sure, but definitely there was another Punjab game where he was. But he took the game to the super over. He took, I think he got Mayank Agarwal's wicket, and they took
Yeah,
the game to super over.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then the qualifier two, where he opened the batting and he scored 40 and then took three wickets. So
yeah,
I think if you look at his tally, 352 runs and 13 wickets. I don't know if any all-rounder has achieved that kind of stat
yeah.
in the IPL, but yeah, I think he contributed both bat and ball. He's a safe fielder as well. That's why I've gone Marcus Stoinis. There is the likes of Pollard, and you have Indians like Akshar Patel and Tewati as well. But
Yeah.
because we didn't go the AB option, I felt like we needed like a solid all-rounder, and I think he in terms of stats and also in terms of some match-winning contributions, I think he was right up there.
I agree 100% with you, and he was a very, very hard choice for me as well.
You
But
picked him?
I've gone with Pollard because I want
Okay.
that captain in my team.
Hmm.
Because I think that Pollard makes that captaincy issue go away for my team, and that's the only reason I picked Pollard over Stoinis, because I can't remove anybody else. That's the only reason I have Pollard in my team. I honestly can't go against the facts, the runs that he scored, and the kind of impact that Stoinis has had in a few games for this Delhi team, who's made the finals and everything. He's been an absolutely incredible player, but just because in cricket, we know how important a captain's role is. I think that Pollard is that shoot captain that makes you click, and that's why I want Pollard in my team. And I know he's not the original captain for the Mumbai team, but I just feel like even if you want to go with captain in KL Rahul, he needs a calm, composed guy to help him out, and that's what I think that that's what I think Pollard gives you. So that's
Um,
why I want that calm, composed middle order guy, kind of guy in the middle.
that's a really great point. Like, it's hard to
Yeah,
argue with something like that, but
yeah,
I just feel like, if you look at it that way, yes, Pollard, I think, did a magnificent job as captain in Rohit's thing, but
yeah,
I think Rahul was the captain for the whole season. Okay.
yeah,
And they started off poorly, but even when they did start off poorly, there was a few close games, right?
yeah, yeah.
Very close. You could say it could have gone either way.
Right.
But also there was, if you remember the Sunrisers game, I mean, I'm sure you remember it, like uh, where they're defending
Hard to
126.
recall.
I think over there was some really good decisions. Like, he was about to bring Maxwell, then he stopped him and he got Ashwin into bowl because he wanted the wickets, and they got
Yeah,
Bairstow Warner. So I think there's a
yeah,
lot of good bowling changes. And I feel that Rahul, as the tournament progressed, I felt that he improved as captain. He also had a lot of responsibilities as a batsman and as a keeper. But I just feel because I like Stoinis' performance, I think, was much more out there. Like Pollard, yes, there were some crazy innings. I think that innings where he took the game to super over with Kishan against
and then
RCB
the game where they lost against Mumbai Indians, the last game of the tournament, he was
against
the only one who
Sunrisers.
stepped up
Yeah,
for
he's the only
150
one
runs.
stepped up. But in terms of match-winning performances and the number of runs in sheer wickets, I'm going Stoinis, and I just feel I agree with you in terms of captaincy. but because of just like the weight of Stoinis and like his performance, I'll just give Rahul the captaincy. I'm not saying he's the
Yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
captain that we have in the whole tournament, but I
Correct.
just feel that he was the captain anyway, right? Pollard was
Right.
stepped
Right.
up because Rohit wasn't there. If Rohit didn't get injured, and we wouldn't even have seen Pollard's captaincy, then that
Absolutely.
argument wouldn't have been there. So I'm going with Stoinis. Would you
I,
end it?
Stoinis is a very, very close second for me. Like I have no arguments about that at all. I mean, the
Yeah.
way
I mean,
the way he's
your points
impacted
are
this team.
very valid. I'm
Yeah,
just going based on like that power performance that he gave.
I think fair enough. I think we can go with the
I didn't have
Stoinis.
in my team. I think yesterday we were discussing, and I didn't have him Stoinis in my team. But then I just
Yeah,
looked at everything, and I saw some of the games that he
it's hard
played.
to argue that. Yeah,
Yeah, I took one game to the Super Over. So like, yeah, like with both ball and bat. So
yeah.
you're good with
And he's
Stoinis?
he's yeah he's a batting all rounder. So that's what I wanted. I want a batting all rounder at 6 and a bowling all rounder at 7. So it works out for me.
All right. Okay. Perfect. So we'll go with Stoinis and number 7.
Akshar Patel. I know who you have, but I think I have to go with Akshar Patel on this one.
Who do you
I'll
think?
tell you what. You have Rahul Tewatia, right?
No, I
Ooh.
changed something. I actually was going with Rahul Tewatia, but then I got Stoinis, right? So I have like that batting option. I
Yeah.
think Stoinis. So I'm going a bit bowling heavy. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going Rashid at number 7.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Then
Okay,
that makes our batting a little
it's
touch.
it's not it's not as weak, but actually I can give you. Should I give you my number 8?
It's Archer, right?
Yeah. So okay, you can put Archer
So
at
it
7.
makes yeah, it
So put
makes
Archer.
7 and 8 Archer and Rashid is pretty
Yeah, so
decent for a T20 game.
7 is Archer, 8 is Rashid. So yes, it is weak, but Archer he had a lot of sixes this season. So
Fair enough.
and if I look at my batting order, the first 6, I just feel that like it's enough firepower there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not like Archer and Rashid can't contribute with the bat,
Right.
and they can hit as well. It's not
Yeah. Yeah.
just that they're worth the single. I think they can hit.
Okay.
So I think in that way. But I was gonna go with Tiwatia, but that I didn't have Stoinis at that time. I wasn't thinking about Stoinis, but I feel that
Mm.
because we have Stoinis, we have batting there, and
Mm.
that's why I'm going with the pure bowlers. The reason why I'm going Archer, I know we agreed that like they didn't make the playoffs and everything, but I'm going Archer is if he just had one
No.
support Indian bowler, like
No,
they
I
would
mean
have made the.
Archer's in my team as well. He makes my team easily. I have
He
Rashid
does.
and Archer. Yeah, I have Rashid and
So then
Archer
who
in
do
my
you
team.
drop?
I had to drop Rabada, unfortunately.
See, yeah, that's the difference. I went with like a
You went with Rabada.
more foreign bowlers, yeah.
Yeah. I have to
So
drop Rabada because who else? You don't have Bolt in your team then.
no, I don't have Bolt in
Yeah.
my team.
So that's the thing. So it's just so hard to pick between both of them. It's just very, very difficult. But I guess it's just going to be a very unfortunate guy whoever misses out. But Rabada is the purple cap holder. I would understand if he has to make that team. But I have to give a shout out to Bolt because the impact that Bolt had for that Mumbai team.
Yeah, I
Like
just
it's
forgot
every
about
single
that.
game.
Yeah,
So it's just going to be very, very hard to pick between those two guys. Just those two guys. It's going to be very hard
the
to pick
thing is
between
also
those
you
two
have the
guys.
argument for Bolt that he won the championship. The final, he like came in and he did the
Those
breakthrough
important three
six match
wickets as
winning.
well,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So it's going to be very, very hard to pick between these two. We're going to have to see how it goes. But I have a feeling we'll get to it. But yeah, I think
number 7.
yeah, I think what the points you're making are very relevant. I think that we don't need because the Rashid and Archer can both give you a little bit with the bat, and I think at your top 6 are pretty solid. So then I think we can go with Rashid and Archer at 7 and 8. That's fair.
You're okay with that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I
okay,
think
let's
that's
go
fair.
with this for now and then see if you want to with Bolt and stuff. If you want to swap with Archer, I think that's gonna be very tough. But like we can decide on that
Yeah.
towards the end. Otherwise, one of them might have to be 12th man. Like
Right.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So let's go with you're good with that, right?
Yeah,
Rashid?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So we're going Archer at 7 and Rashid at 8,
Let me
right?
let me go with my 9, 10, 11. Okay.
Go for it.
Varun Chakravarti, Bumrah, and Bolt. That's what I have right now. I'm open to bringing Rabada into the team.
Okay, so I have Bumrah, Rabada, and Chahal.
Okay, that's fair too.
So, but
That's fair
I mean, in this one, I think Varun Chakravarti is probably one of the best uncapped players, like him, Padikal. So it's a bit tough. But Chahal, I just feel like he had a really good season as well. Like he didn't do too
yeah,
much.
I think the kind of impact that Varun had on for that KKR team, he was a lone shining guy, r- be it like bad games, good games. Every time he would shine with the ball. Like he had those wickets, he had those economical runs. Chahal had a couple of poor games, not many, but I think he had a couple of poor games. And just for that sole reason, I think that Varun gets that nod ahead in my opinion. But Chahal, he's a match winner. He gets you those wickets for sure. And if you're going already, you kind of already have a mystery spinner in Rash. So if you want to go Chahal as an out and out proper Chinaman, I guess that's fair as well.
But yeah, I think I mean you have some fair points as well. I think Varun can bowl in the power play as well, right?
Yeah,
If needed.
if needed. He just
So
gives you a little bit more oomph, and I feel like two mystery spinners versus one, then you have like 8 overs to be careful of,
yeah, and
So
also Chahal is a leg spinner as well, right?
yeah,
So like he's not a mystery spinner, but I think yeah, let's go with yours. I
with
think
Varun.
I kind of changed your mind in quite a few positions, so
I
I'm
just feel
willing
like,
I'm
yeah, I
willing
think
to
I think
step
Varun
down in
had a
this
very
one.
good, yeah, I think Varun had a very very good tournament. Be it when KKR was performing or not, I just felt like he had a very good tournament. So
Yeah, I just went Chahal because I just felt like whenever wickets were needed, he picked up wickets. There was a game as
that's
well
fair.
where
That's
he
fair.
he bowled the last over and he almost took it to a super over.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think he was he was a match winner for RCB. But yes, at the end of the day, I think Chakravarti also like he took the tournament by storm and like his comeback from last season to now has been unbelievable.
yeah,
So and that 5 wicket haul as well. So yeah,
yeah.
okay, let's go with the Varun Chakravarti at 9. And then Bumrah 10, like we're
It's
sorted.
pretty solid. Yeah.
Now you tell me, Bolt or
So here's my thing, right? I mean, so Bolt only because he has the championship, and Rabada is the purple cap holder. If you have the orange cap holder, it just feels unfair to not have the purple cap holder. But I felt like the games that Rabada didn't perform, he got whacked around a little bit too
hmm,
much for my own liking, especially towards the last few games where he didn't work out very well. That was one thing. And second, I just felt like Bolt gives you that little bit of oomph in the beginning. He gives you that little bit of swing, that hint of swing, and he really always takes wickets in the power play. It can be argued that Archer does that too, but it's really, I mean, Bumrah is your. So if you want to really go like death heavy kind of bowling, then Archer can do that for you in the first couple overs and the back, and then you have Bumrah for the first and the couple of the back. So I feel like is Archer and Rabada are a little bit more similar in terms of their impact on the teams, but I feel like Bolt gives you just a little bit of extra. He's a left-handed bowler. He brings it in that little bit more of variety in your bowling attack. He gives you a little bit of swing up front. He's easily your 135 over kind of bowler. You don't even need him in the end because you can use Archer and Bumrah at the end. It gives you that little bit of flexibility to use Bumrah for a couple of overs in the middle if you need to as well. Like maybe give Bumrah over in the power play and then use him in the middle if the other side's kind of going heavy with the bat. Just try to curtail runs, get some wickets. That's what my thought is for Bolt, but I would not for 1 minute kind of have any issues if Rabada makes that team.
yeah, I think for me the toughest thing is because of Bolt's contribution in the playoffs, and also during the game. There's some games where like he just broke the back of the team, opposition team, and
Yeah,
with like 2 3 early wickets.
but I think
But
Rabada did that as well,
But
right?
Rabada did that as well, and also Rabada in the death, he's getting you wickets as well. He's getting you wickets all the time. And for me, in T20 matches, the only way to stop the run rate is if you take wickets. So
Right,
even if he's getting hit a few games, I'll take that if he's getting me wickets. And apart from 1 or 2 games, he took a wicket every game. Yes, he
right.
did get hit. Yesterday he got hit, but he picked up a wicket.
Yeah,
Like yes, it didn't like become match winning. Like Bolts was match winning, but at the same time, I think the amount of wickets he's getting, and we just and I think this bowling attack will be really aggressive. And if you want like a bit of containment, Bumrah will give you that with his variation and everything. And I think Archer will swing the ball as well. I think he can get you that power play wickets
yeah,
that Bolt is getting,
yeah,
and he has the extra pace. Like I'm just making a point. It's like very tough choice. I'm just trying to make a point so we have a decision. But I agree with all your points on Bolt. I don't disagree. I just feel that the sheer amount of wickets that Rabada took is very important in a T20 game. Yes, he was the purple cap holder, but yeah, that helps you wins games. And I think and that's one of the reasons they made it to the finals. Like
yeah.
he's picking up wickets, and there was a couple of games. I think him and Nokia, the way there's one game they defended, I think 25 or 26 runs in the last
Right,
four overs.
right, right. I mean, I think that's absolutely fair. I think Rabada is. I completely agree that Rabada makes that team with ease. It was just a little bit difficult for me to kind of neglect Bolt out of this team, but you have to go with four foreigners. Otherwise, actually, honestly, otherwise also it's hard to bring him in because of
Yeah,
the combination of the team. But I think
yeah.
that's fair. I think I would be completely okay with the fact that Rabada gets that nod. ahead.
Yeah, I think fair enough. So if we go with Rabada, then Bolt is 12th man automatically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so you're okay with that.
Yeah, unfortunate, but I think I can see why that happens. It's fair. I think it's
Okay.
very hard to keep Rabada out of this team because of 20 plus wickets that he's taken and the purple cap holder, and he's really been an impact for that player as well. I mean, kind of a little bit of a fair shout out to Nortier as well. I think he goes under the radar a little bit, but I think
Yeah.
he's been very, very good
He
this
was
season.
unbelievable this season. I think
So, yeah.
him and Rabada, like the death bowling, and even in the openings
Yeah.
bowling that they did, I think they got Delhi. They won Delhi a lot of games, especially in the first 6, 7 matches.
Sandeep Sharma, Natarajan, a little bit of a fair shout out to them. It's almost impossible to bring them over these guys, but fair shout out.
So who would have
Good
been
numbers.
your favorite uncapped player? Because there is Rituraj, there is Padikkal, there is Chakravarti, which you picked in your team.
Yeah, I think
There is
Varun and Padikkal are my top two favorites,
there's
honestly, at this moment in
Natarajan, there's
time.
Abdul Samad,
Natarajan also.
there is
Sa-
Priyam Garg, there's I'm going one side.
Abdul Samad also, he's very exciting, but I just think he's not done enough for me to catch
Yeah,
him.
he didn't get
Like
enough
I think he needs to play a
opportunities.
little bit more for me to kind of just go through that aspect. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as of the current impact, I think three players stood out: and Natarajan, Padikkal, and Varun Chakravarti. I think these three are my standout uncapped players.
And Varun Chakravarti, one of your points was also his economy rate, right? Like he didn't
Absolutely.
get hit for
Him and
runs.
Rash, him and Rash give you those 5, 6 and over and get you a wicket or two. That stifles the middle order completely.
And then you have the likes of Rabada to pick up the wickets.
In the beginning, in the end, wherever you need.
Yeah, I
And
think
you have Archer who really who makes who put applies the brakes in the power play. Then you have Rabada who brings you the wickets in the end. You have these spinners who can do the job in the middle, and then you have your Bumrah wherever you need him. You can just use him. He's just
yeah.
beautiful like that. So that's my kind of thought behind it. So
No, no, fair
that
enough. I
was
think I think that sums up the team, and then we have Bolt at 12th man. So
yeah.
who is your captain?
At this moment in time, it has to be KL Rahul, right? Because no
KL.
Pollard in the team, so it kind of has to be KL Rahul. I don't think
And
anybody else kind of makes that.
and if you had to pick a coach,
Ooh, so hard. So there's the top three coaches are Jayawardene, Ponting, and Trevor Bellis. I think
oh
those are
yeah,
the top three.
Trevor.
Because I think for Trevor, because he made this team punch above their weight. You usually don't see that.
Yeah,
Jayawardene, he managed this team very well. They were doing incredibly well. He just continued to manage them pretty well. Ponting, because he was that enigma that you kind of need sometimes in the team in teams.
yeah, and a lot, you could see a lot of his ideas being implemented. I think that
Yeah.
Stoinis move to open the batting. I think that
Yeah.
was probably his idea.
I think we can go with Ponting.
Ricky Panang,
Yeah.
Ricky Ponting Pana.
Punter. Yeah. I think
Yep.
that's fair.
Yeah, perfect. I think that sums up the team. Let me just read it out for
Read up
you.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, KL Rahul to open the batting, and he's captaining, and he's keeping wickets between him and no. Or we'll
Him
give
and
Ishan.
we
Or
kick Kishan
we can
we can
give
give
Kishan the
Kishan the
wickets and
captain.
let
Yeah.
Rahul captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let him do what he does best.
Yeah, so okay, Rahul opening the batting with Shikhar Dhawan. We have Surya Kumar Yadav at number 3. We have number 4 Ishan Kishan, number 5 Hardik Pandya, number 6 Marcus Stoinis, number 7 Chofra Archer, number 8 Rashid Khan, number 9 Kagiso Robada, number 10 Jasprit Bumrah, and number 11 Varun Chakravarti.
I probably have Varun at 9 because he can bat a bit. So
Okay, so number 9
yeah,
Varun Chakravarti, number 10 Rabada, number 11 Bumrah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's it.
good.
I
That's
think I
good.
think actually we have batting till 9, so that's pretty good. That's a solid
Yeah,
team.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like you were right in this. We're a bit bowling heavy, but I think those top 6 batsmen, even if 2 or 3 perform, they'll win us the game.
Right.
Like that's what it is.
And
So
that's the hope,
and
right?
it's
So
a 20 over game, right? So you
you
don't
don't need
want
too much more
you
than
don't
that.
want your number 8 winning you like
Games.
majority of your games. See,
I
like
agree.
you want your top 6. So I think that's why I think that's a good strategy to go with.
I think that's fair.
But
Your
yeah,
top six, and that's kind of how Mumbai have their team set up as well, right? Their top six and
yeah.
seven, six, seven are just perfect, and then the remaining they really don't care about Bumrah, Bolt. All these guys are mugs with the bat, and it doesn't matter. So
Yeah, and sorry, I forgot to say our 12th man is Trent Bolt. So if one of our fast bowlers get an injury, which could happen, we get Bolt
yeah,
into the
and then I
team.
think I think our spinners as Chahal is an important guy
Yeah,
to have made that team as well. I think he's a fair shout out, but just I think shade above Varun Chakravarti.
Yeah, and also I think Chahal, like he's done it. I mean, it's fair enough. Like he bowled really well, but I think Chakravarti, we didn't expect him to
Yeah,
do that. So like,
right.
and especially after the last season where he got smashed in one or two games because of the price tag pressure. But yeah, I think fair enough. It's a good call. You happy with
I
the team?
I'm very happy with the team. It's a solid
All right.
team.
Any last thoughts? Anything you want to add?
No, I'm just I think it came out pretty well and pretty quickly as well. I thought it'd take longer, but I think some of the players were pretty solid. So
Yeah, I think we agreed on most of it except for like the middle order a bit,
yeah, and then
and the
you kicked
spin.
out Bolt as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, my bad.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah, but apart from that, I think, yeah, it's
Solid
good.
team.
Yeah, to be honest with you, those guys could be in the 11 as well if, like, like if we just put them in, like they
Right,
walk into the 11 anytime. So
right,
it's
right.
just a matter of making an 11, I
Yeah,
think.
absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for your time. We'll keep in touch. There's still plenty to talk about. There's an auction coming maybe soon.
Yeah,
So there's still a lot of cricket stuff to talk about. Yes, we might not have cricket immediately, but then there's the India Australia tour coming as well. So I'll catch you for that and have a good night, man, and take care.
yep. As always, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.